This EchoPark Speedway NASCAR Spring of 2026 betting recap edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. As always, he's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, and we are recapping probably, Cody, one of the most exciting races that we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Oh, wait, it's only been 2 weeks. But, no, listen, NASCAR in Atlanta is back, baby. What a weekend. We have tons to recap. We've got tons to get back to, but overall, I will tell you right now, this was fun. This was just straight up fun. Maybe NASCAR got the memo that we're making NASCAR fun again, and hell yeah, maybe we've got it.
Hell yeah, that's the slogan this year, right? Hell yeah, that's what I got to say to that race. It was beautiful. Everything about it was great. The racing was amazing. The betting was wonderful. I'm excited to talk about that. Had us a good week. Had another shot at going all the way to the top of the Carson Hocevar car lift, Rod. Oh, so close once again. Oh, that win is right around the corner. We already cashed the Tyler Reddick over 1.5 wins ticket. That was one of the best bets on the final predictions show. Easy peasy. You lost your Sheldon Creed. Congrats to Sheldon Creed, Rod. He got it done finally. What a weekend. But the racing just absolutely amazing. I mean, the way that they were able to, it kind of reminded me of older school Daytona type of racing where you could make the moves. We saw Cindric go from 31st to first to win the stage. We saw moving and shaking. You could go from the back to the front. You could go from the front to the back. You could make moves independently at times. You needed help to come with you, but you could pull out a line and it wasn't just a complete anchor. You could make your move and get, leapfrog a guy, a little bit of everything. It's they, shout out to Marcus Smith and the team at Atlanta EchoPark Speedway. A lot of people weren't sure how it was going to work, but it has worked out absolutely beautifully.
A little bit of everything, and a little bit of everything in every series too. That wasn't just like one good race. It was all three races had fantastic racing all the way through. Yes. I mean, the Gluck poll, what was it, like 5,800 votes and still 96.
Yeah, it was like 94 or 95 when I saw this morning. So, it was trending up great. And like honestly, I don't know who the 6% that voted no are. Like what? Maybe your favorite driver got wrecked. Okay, fine. Other than that, I can't think of a reason you would. I saw the doomers out there. I've discovered the new word doomers. It combines, boomer with doom, and it's great. So the doomers out there. I saw some, some of the Facebook groups. They like to, that's not Ned Jarrett winning by 14 laps. I don't like it. But no, it was a great weekend.
I'm convinced some people just like to watch the world burn. That's literally what it is. I mean, it does. I mean, you could put a box full of kittens out and people would just be like, oh, those kittens are ugly. How? Yeah. Who says kittens are ugly?
It's crazy. I don't know how you don't like it, and if you don't, whatever. I don't know how to help you. So we're moving on, and we're going to enjoy it with everybody who did like it.
Indeed. You know what else you're going to like too is getting all of our free picks and our podcasts in the SGPN app. It's in one easy place. Not just do you get the hottest NASCAR gambling podcast on the network, but you also, well, we are the only one, but you get all the other ones too, as far as baseball is concerned, basketball is concerned, all kinds of great stuff. So 100% happy to bring you all of that for free on the SGPN app. Cody, we're going to get right into everything here real quick. And for those of you in the Discord listening right now, we see you. We can't wait to get to your phone calls and your live reactions for this one because it was definitely hot. But a couple pieces of news before we get into the whole thing. There's a very exciting signing by Toyota that I think we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, big move by Toyota. Toyota Racing Development. They have signed one Keelan Harvick. He's been making waves. Of course, the son of the legendary, I don't think he's in the Hall yet, future Hall of Famer maybe, Kevin Harvick. But yeah, Keelan is a race car driver. There's a lot of talent there, and Kevin has put him through all of the steps necessary to get to a point where he can get a contract like this. He's not getting it because his name, he's getting it because he's absolutely earned it. So, it's great to see. We see the scholarship deals for these young kids, stuff like that, but they can already start supporting him right now and begin to put him. He's going to race Toyota late models, in the Cars Tour and stuff. We'll see him do a lot of that type of stuff. And yeah, he'll move up through the Toyota pipeline. This gives him a direct line and a direct path of succession to the higher levels, assuming that he can keep hitting the marks, which he absolutely has been so far. So you love to see that for, Kevin brought us, a lot of really great years of being a Cup driver. He stepped into impossible shoes to fill and made that 29 seat his own, not filling Dale's shoes, of course, because nobody could, but in creating the 29 car and being the personality he was. And to see that carry on, racing a lot of times is generational, and we see it, through many different families. So love it.
Absolutely do love it. And honestly too, there's Nepo babies all over the place in this sport, but yeah, with a guy like Kevin Harvick, I would not expect him to put his kid up there unless his kid was ready to go. Right. Same with Kyle Busch. I don't expect Kyle Busch to push Brexton out until Brexton's ready to roll,
Yeah. Well, and I think we've seen, the results speak for themselves. Yes. You can have anybody with a name out there that's just running out there, but Keelan has been taking old people to the woodshed, including his dad, and straight up just going out and beating them in race cars. So, yeah, you love to see it. And obviously Toyota wants to jump in on that early. Kevin never had a relationship with Toyota during his time. He was with Chevy almost his entire career until the end at SHR when they switched over to Ford, but he never was in a Toyota car at all. So for them to realize, okay, this kid has the talent, we need to go ahead and get in on him early. I believe he's 13 years old. It's great to see, and it'll be fun to continue to watch the development through the levels.
Indeed. All right. So is there any other pieces of news that we need to get to at this point?
I feel like there was something else, but I can't think of it.
Did the Keelan thing suck all the air out of the room?
The Keelan thing, I guess, is the big news, Rod.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely good news. For those of you in the Discord, please let me know whether or not you could hear. I know JDK said they were having audio problems. I turned up the fader on my board, which lets you guys hear it. So thanks for bringing that to my attention. Again, this call-in thing's still kind of new, so we're getting the hang of it. But lots of stuff to break down and to talk about. Well, I don't know. Let's check in with the chat. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we haven't. Willow checking in saying, I'm watching for Wyatt Miller. If you don't know who that is the son of Kelly Earnhardt Miller, which is, of course, Dale's daughter. So Wyatt is Dale Earnhardt's grandson, to simplify that. But he's an absolute baller. I'm sure you've seen him on the Bass Pro Shops commercials, stuff like that. He's got that relationship already with Johnny Morris and them. He is an absolute stud of a race car driver as well, and I think we'll continue to see him climb through the ranks. This is somewhere where obviously you would expect and hope Chevy would step up and say, hey, let's keep Earnhardt. I mean, Earnhardt has always been Chevy. Well, Dale actually started in Ford. A lot of people don't know that. But they've been Chevy for a long-ass time through Dale Jr. State Chevy his entire career. So yeah, I would expect a deal like that for Wyatt coming soon too.
Indeed. All right. Other folks in here that are out there, cousin Danny wants to know or wants to tell Marcus that he is sorry for his loss. Obviously, Christopher Bell got taken out and ended up in 21st. We'll talk about the guy that did that to him earlier. And then Expert Suck saying, happy Monday, fellas. Happy Monday to you. Nev saying Super Speedway rocks. And then Fitted Jones is hyped for some road racing this week as well. Slow Roll wants to say that Atlanta is like the last 2 laps of Daytona, except for the whole race, which I 1,000% agree with you on that one. And then King saying that 2 races in 2 top 5s in the one and done. That's a really good there. And then maybe Cody is muted in Discord. So, all right, well, we'll figure that out on the other side of everything, but I feel like
after
there's
the
so
break,
much.
See if you can play with it, because I just tried and I can't hear you, but I don't think it has anything to do with me being muted, because you don't want me talking, because I'm not the one feeding the audio in there. So we'll figure it out after the break.
Type in the chat to tell everybody to hang tight, and when we do, we'll come back. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Kalshi. He's a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Kalshi has tons of trading options for your favorite sports, and besides sports, they got tons of markets, including politics, entertainment, hell. You can even trade on the weather with Kalshi. You can trade on just about anything. I'm telling you, listen, you guys, you thought I was joking, but I kept giving you the market on will the U.S. confirm that aliens exist before 2027. And guess what? Just got word that we were told that we were given everything on the aliens, which is going to jack the price up of this yes. Now it's at 20 cents. When I told you guys this early in February, we were hovering around 12, 13, 14%. Well, guess what? It has moved almost 8 cents now. At one point, the high on this one was at 25 cents. So a full quarter, actually 28 cents on February 19th. It's dipped a little since then, but I'm telling you right now, don't wait on this one anymore, because a $10 investment is going to get you $50 back on the yes. You guys think I'm kidding with this stuff, but I'm honestly serious. And you know, Kalshi customers get $20 free. Could have used the $20 for free at 28 cents and gotten yourself a lot of fun. Use promo code SGPN for that $20 free. That's Kalshi, KALSHI, promo code SGPN. How about our friends over at Rhythm? Rhythm's been on a heater for college and NBA picks. Super easy to sign up, predictions off the house, or you can make your own model and play with the sliders. And if you're looking to go premium, use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm, use promo code SGPN25.
All right, Rod, go ahead and accept your invite back to the stage there and see if that will hopefully fix the audio issues. But
did we restart? Did we turn it off and turn it back on again?
Unplug it, plug it back in, like I told you earlier. We'll try and see if that'll fix the problems here.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I see that my little thing is heating up. So, I mean, it should be something. There should be something going on there. If not, we'll have to figure it all out. Anyways. All right, Cody, it was the EchoPark Speedway. It is the reconfigured super speedway aspect of Atlanta that's been such as 2022. All 3 series were in play in this one. We had some fantastic finishes. We had some fantastic racing, but we also had a profitable weekend, which I will say, I'll tell you exactly. Look, stick around to the end of the recap. I'm going to tell you exactly how profitable it was, because we're going to lay out on the line for you what happened this weekend and everything. But yeah, Cody, this was a lot of fun, and congrats to Kyle Busch for bringing home the truck race. It looked like there was a lot of different possibilities for the end of that race, but it ended up in our favor and in Kyle Busch's favor, who's back in victory lane now.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to Kyle Busch. Look, he is the greatest truck series driver, I think, in history. Honestly, I think that it's not going crazy to say that, but he's won this race now 3 years in a row. Pretty impressive, considering the fact that it is the super speedway, the drafting element. And I mean, just the way that he manipulated and worked everything and put himself in the right position time and time again to be there at the end, to take advantage of it and snag the win. It's what you expected, honestly. And yeah, that race really set the tone for the weekend of, holy crap, look at the good racing we got. And then it just parlayed itself into the other 2 races, which was beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful indeed. And honestly, this race could have gone a lot of different ways. had it been for the second place car, which obviously, we'll talk about that in a second as well. But 3 cautions, Cody. That's what I loved the most about this. With as much funkiness that goes on and craziness that goes on, there was only 1 caution for cause, and that came at almost the very end of the race. So these guys raced clean, they raced smart, and they definitely just, I don't know. It was amazing. I enjoyed it all. So I almost felt like going down the card.
It was. I mean, yeah, it was absolutely just an amazing race. It was very clean, very exciting. So, yeah, jumping into the bets, I had John Hunter Nemechek top 5 plus 225. This one looked absolutely amazing. I mean, throughout the entire thing until the very end, he was in that mix and then just got bounced out and ended up with the 8th place finish. So he didn't cash, but Gio Ruggiero top 5. This dude is an absolute machine for us. We're going to continue to talk about him every week. 4-1. He cashes the top 5 there. Frankie Muniz, top Ford. Look, we told you it was probably going to be a chalky race, and that's how it was likely going to happen. That's why a lot of our bets were centered around that. But in case it got chaotic, you had this type of bet. We got the chalky race, so the chalk bets hit, and the Muniz long shot did not hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the tough part about it. And it wasn't as if he was running poorly either. Like, he actually had a shot at running a really good race at one point. I think he was top 15, top 20 in a couple of the later parts of or even the early parts of the race. Yeah, I ended up finishing 25th, but God, man, at some point something's going to crack for him. He really is going to get there and be a contender, not a winning contender, but at least a top 15 contender, which can put him in the mix in some of these instances. I had Christian Eckes over Chandler Smith as my first bet. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with the people that are kind of naysaying on Eckes now. It's been 2 races, and I feel like he's not
super
the same.
speedway races. That's one thing in recap and all this. Don't saw out of drivers, and it's like, oh my God, Noah Gregson's in the chase if it started today. Like, yeah, he is. That's great. That's cool. But he won't be in 3 weeks. Like, that's just how it's going to work. Don't overreact to 2 bad super speedway races out of anybody, really, throughout the entire field, good or bad. Tyler Reddick, it's great to see him get 2 back-to-back wins. Good start to the season. We already cashed the over-win total. That's great. But it doesn't mean he's going to have a great season everywhere else either. It should be helpful, and he's got a big-ass fucking head start in the point standings now. But don't overreact too much to 2 weeks. That's my bit of advice for everyone.
And I understand that. I do. But it wasn't as if he was even looking good at any point during that race before the transmission snapped on him. It just, I don't know. And there was only 2 laps in. So
I feel like, yeah. Well, yeah. Wasn't that super early? I mean, you didn't really get a shot to see. Yeah, so
I don't know.
I'm not worried about it. Christian Eckes will be fine. And hopefully the books will sleep on him like you want to, Rod.
Hey, listen, I'll grab that every day and twice on Sunday. But Chandler Smith ended up finishing in 6th after starting 22nd. So, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna keep riding Eckes at some point. It's just, I don't know. I'm hurt. I'm wounded. I need to lick my wounds, but that's all right.
It happens, Rod. I had Spencer Boyd, a couple of long shot bets. Again, you needed chaos for that. Didn't happen, so we'll toss those out. Corey Heim top 3 at plus 255. He looked pretty good. I mean, he ended up 5th, so close. Didn't obviously catch this. Yeah, like was just pointed out in the chat by somebody. I don't know where that went. Oh yeah, here it was. TK. I don't know if the one team didn't inform him of the timed race or what was going on. I don't know. Interesting, but he looked great in the number 1 truck. It didn't look like that was any harm not being the 11 truck. Really, he looked a lot better than the 11 truck. Shocker. Who could have saw that coming? Didn't cash it, but he was really close. That's all we were looking for. We expected it to be pretty chalky. Busch, Hocevar, Hyman 5th. It was pretty chalky, kind of like we expected.
Yeah, it kind of was too. And we did say that this was going to be the race where all of these big guys were going to be up at the top, and they most certainly were, up to and including my boy Ben Rhodes. Hello, Ben Rhodes. Where have you been all of our life, right? Guy started on the outside pole and ended up putting it in 4th place at the end of the day. Look, I said this was going to be a sneaky Ben Rhodes race, and at plus 450, the books did not agree with me at all. And so we jumped on it, and it was where we needed to sort of take advantage of the fact that, yeah, Ben Rhodes had been kind of not good over the last few races of last season and kind of started off ho-hum this season. But I knew this track could be his. I knew that he could do well on it. And, for Ben Rhodes, he was there. He was a contender all day long. plus 450 for a top 5. I said it was a misprice. I 1,000% jumped on it, and I hope you guys did too, because like I said, Ben Rhodes looked Ben Rhodes like, and I was happy for it because I was just excited to see him in the mix all race long.
Yeah, this was a great call by you. I mean, he jumped up, looked good, as you expected. It was his birthday. We didn't even know we had that angle to help us. Didn't he have a trouble issue, or he had an issue at some point too? Didn't he have a tire go down or something that put him behind a little bit? Found his way right back to the front. I cashed the bet for you, so great there. I had some outrights. Corey Heim, top 5. Gio Ruggiero, top 5. Spencer Boyd, that was the long shot chaos thing, doesn't cash. But I told you, it was Kyle Busch, plus 265. That was the play. It was going to be a Kyle Busch day. It was a Kyle Busch day. Put on an absolute clinic. So, yeah, easy cash there.
Indeed. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to James Rainwater in the chat. He's there in the bin of a 737 loading bags. That is fantastic. We've got people loading bags listening to the show. Yeah. I love it. He's going to come back, watch the full thing, but thank you guys for doing this. Back to work you go. Well, there you are, James. We'll give you the shout out. We're back up in Discord, so restarting it, starting it all over again. Worked. That'll be fine. So we'll get with you guys in just a second. I love it.
So now get in there, raise your hand if you want to speak, because we'll be able to bring you on.
Indeed. I had Eckes to win, obviously 2 laps in. What we didn't know. And then Ankrum, man, you want to talk about a huge disappointment. Ankrum, he was just not there all race long. He didn't mix it up with the win or with the top pack. He just sort of disappeared. He started 4th, right? There was speed there first, but he immediately sort of fell back and didn't have a top 15 day, sure, but not what I expected out of Tyler Ankrum, and certainly not something I wanted to say that I was happy about putting some money on. But yeah,
well, that'll happen, Rod. That's how it goes. And yeah, well,
we did say it was insurance though, because we both said it would have been either Busch or Heim or one of these top guys. So it wasn't like it was a huge going out on a limb.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was pretty clear it was going to be a Busch day, and it was a Busch day.
It was a Busch day. Speaking of Busch days, how about we talk to the guy in the chat right now with his hand up that talks to the Busch fan constantly. It's a nice little fun to have JDK in the Discord because he keeps that thing moving and keeps everybody going. So JDK, welcome back to the show, my friend. First and foremost, congratulations on your cash tickets. And what was your view of Atlanta? I am not getting him on the Discord, unfortunately. So you can hear me now, but I guess I can't hear other people in the Discord. So not sure what's going on there. All right, let's just move on because I'm assuming that this is probably not going to work. Let's move on to Frank real quick. Let's see if I can hear Frank.
All right, Frank, we will invite you to speak. Frank, can you hear us?
Save us. Apparently Frank is not working for me either right now. Okay.
Well, it's okay. It's we're trying, guys. It's in progress.
It really is too. And that's what's frustrating about this whole thing. Like I know the technology's there. I have the technology, but unfortunately it's just sometimes you're just out there. All right. Cody, let's move on to the O'Reilly Series race because that was a lot of fun as well. And yes, Sheldon Creed. I told you on the show, right? When we were talking about it, if this happened, then I'm not going to cry if the Sheldon Creed win total did not necessarily get there. So that happened. I'm rejoicing. I'm very happy for Sheldon Creed. Hate it for the win total bet, but I'm happy for Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, it's just one you love to see. I mean, even though we didn't have money on him, we've known how good of a driver he is. We saw him win in the Truck Series. It wasn't like he couldn't win. He just couldn't get there. And what do you have? 15 second place finishes. Finally got it done. But I think this opens up the floodgates. I think we'll see Sheldon Creed win multiple races this year. Once you get to that point, we've seen this many times before. Daniel Hemrick, the outlier, but we've seen this before. Isn't Dale Jarrett the other guy in that stat? I think that had just second place after second place, goes on to be I believe he won multi-time Daytona 500s. He won a Cup Series championship, all of that stuff. And guys like Casey Kane, we saw that when he came in. I mean, it was just second place. Finally figured it out. And once they get going, they get going. So, I think this is huge for Sheldon. Finally gets it done. I felt gross. I was rooting for Austin. Obviously, I had money on Austin Hill. He was my outright, much like Busch. We said it was going to be a Hill day, and it really was a Hill day. I mean, the same thing. He manipulated the draft. He did everything, and Ross Chastain just played hero at the end and took him out so that Creed could get his first win. So, but it was like I'm rooting for Hill because I have money on him, and then I'm just like, I don't like this. This doesn't feel good. Why am I rooting for him? I'm rooting for the bets, yes, but I don't actually want to see the guy win. It was crazy.
Yeah, and what's frustrating too is that with Hill, like I knew and I had a feeling that Hill was not going to make it happen at the end of the race. And I even said I feel like something's gonna jump up and grab him. And I said it even in the Discord. I was like, I'm sorry guys, but I feel like this isn't a Hill day.
How many times have I come on this show and said you can't bet a guy plus 250 on a super speedway because these are the types of things that happen? But then he'd won 5 of the last 7. Like it was just, and then really like throughout the race, I just felt good. It's like, okay, he's clearly going to be the best car again, as long as things fall right. And really they did. And he made that move and it was like, oh, wow, he just did it again. Like he just took these guys to school and then Chastain just had enough to get to him. And, he ain't going to lift and he didn't. And the save by Austin Hill was amazing though. Like for him to go sideways on the apron, back up into traffic, right it. And he still ended up with a somewhat decent finish. He ended up, where did he end up? 12th. Like really not a bad day for being sideways in turn 4 on the last lap. So unfortunately he didn't cash the head-to-head over Jesse Love, which he should have because he was beating him all day, but doesn't on the last lap. So that's how it goes. Doesn't cash the outright either.
Indeed. All right. You know what? I want to try this one more time. Invite JDK to talk. I want to hear from JDK real quick. And then if we get this, then that'll work. If not, we'll just move on to the actual bets that we cashed because there were some doozies in there. A lot of fun. All right, JDK, try this one more time. All right, he's coming out of the wrong speaker. So, all right. Cody, start the card.
Back in, Rob.
Yeah, let's start the card. We'll figure this out.
Okay, so yeah, I had the Hill over Love. That unfortunately didn't cash. You had Carson Quapple over Sammy Smith. And that ended up with JRM on JRM crime. Once again, they just take each other out. And unfortunately for you, Quapple ends up in 32nd, 57 laps down, while Sammy Smith ends up in 30th, 22 laps down. It was just, more JRM on JRM crime. And I feel like before there was JRM on JRM crime, didn't Corey Day wipe out half of the guys there? So that was part of it too. But yeah, unfortunately you didn't cash that one. But I mean, if you go into it saying, well, the guy you're betting against is going to finish 30th, you feel pretty good about the head-to-head. But in these wrecks, that's just how it goes. Obviously, Smith was able to go a little longer, but that's how it works.
Yeah, and it was frustrating because, like you said, I mean, Quapple was up there pretty much the entire race. Like he was mixing in the pack. He was a top 5 car, or like he was. In fact, he was in contention for, well, I don't want to say the win because it wasn't, but the lead many, many times in that race. And with all the JRM on JRM crime, Cody, I may have to readjust my allegiances because this is getting frustrating.
Yeah, definitely frustrating. Unfortunately, Gio Ruggiero was a little frustrating in the Xfinity O'Reilly race, Rod. Had the top 5 at 8-1 or 6-1 rather. I feel like he was running pretty decent throughout the race. I was just trying to think back, but I don't know. He ended up not cashing this, and I don't know that I ever really felt like he was going to. So, Truck Series for sure. We're going to keep betting on him. Pretty decent at road courses, by the way, which is what we'll be taking on this week. We'll get into that more in a couple of days when we talk about COTA. But Dean Thompson top 5. This one looked good for a good chunk of the day. Excuse me. He was way back for a while, and then he was up there, and then he was back, and then he was up there. So it was a little bit of back and forth, but he was up there kind of in the mix at the end. Ends up with an 11th place finish at 13-1. you're close, right? You're getting close. That's what you're looking for. So unfortunately, neither of those cashed, but they were longer shots, just kind of hoping for some guys that we know are good on super speedways. 11th place, you're not that far out of it, especially at the end with the kind of chaos there of Austin Hill. That could have really shaken up the results had he come back up onto the track and not saved it the way he did.
Indeed. Fitted Jones talking about Day was all over the place. Well, you know where he ended up? Inside the top 5.
This is the dumbest bet that's ever cashed on this show. Like, easily takes the thing. You admitted it was a horrible bet when you gave it out. I agreed with you. It was a stupid bet. You didn't even sell it that well. But you said, but it might cash because, oh, fuck it. And it cashed. Like, what? What the fuck, Rod?
Because did we learn nothing from the NASCAR for Dummies 101 thing, right? It doesn't. Sometimes there is no rhyme or reason. You can make you can get all the research in the world. You can get all your statistics. Your models can say something else. Everything can point you in the direction of do not place this bet. But there's just this thing inside you that says, but maybe this will. And honestly, I guess I didn't sell it very well because I thought 8-1 Corey Day. We haven't seen it so far. Yeah, of course it's probably not supposed to. Like you say, Cody, with these long shots, it's a long shot for a reason. There's a reason why this bet is placed at 8-1. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't completely bet it, because I also said that this could be an opportunity for Corey Day to kind of punch through and show that HendrickCars.com sponsorship is not all for naught. He's got guys to play around with. Okay, he wrecked out half the field, but he actually didn't really wreck out half the field. He did.
3/4.
But I will say this: if you are going to defend a guy like Carson Hocevar for the way he drives,
the great Carson Hocevar,
you are not going to step on this one. I tell you now. If you're going to defend a guy like Carson Hocevar for driving the way he does, you have to. It's Corey Day's younger. Corey Day's still a kid that hasn't even done anything yet. And yet he drives like that. And you're like, oh, Corey Day drives like an asshole, blah, blah, blah. Can't do shit. No, Corey Day is aggressive. Corey Day takes chances. Corey Day sees holes and fills them. Like, you cannot say anything other than that when you talk about Corey Day. Anyways, he still cashed the 8-1 top 5. So good for us.
Great for you, Rod. The legendary Carson Hocevar did one time say, if you cause the wreck, you're usually not in it. And Corey Day took that advice to absolute heart and caused all the wrecks and didn't get in them. So congrats to you on the improbable happening. But that's how it goes. So outrights, I had Austin Hill at plus 250. Obviously, we felt great about that. We talked about him. Doesn't cash, unfortunately. Ryan Sieg at 30-1. Talked about how we only want to bet his outright in this race because he's not finished well here. Once again, didn't finish well. Got caught up. I mean, not of his own doing. He just got caught up, actually, I think, in the Corey Day wreck. So that's how it goes. Gio at 35-1. Well, Harry Burton, 50-1. He also got caught up in it. Dean Thompson at 80-1. Maybe if he gets some more chaos there at the end, 11th place, kind of putting himself in position. Maybe not enough chaos, although Corey Day finished in 4th, so maybe there was enough chaos. Hill was the real play. It felt good. It didn't cash. We'll take our lumps and move on.
I would have been, look, Parker Retzlaff made an appearance in the Discord, and I sort of pooed the Parker Retzlaff.
How did we not? We got it. Dude, he almost won a cup race a couple of years ago. Like, that's on us. Like, we need to make sure, like Retzlaff needs to be on the card going forward. And clearly that 99 Vikings Motorsports car that he's in is pretty solid. So, Retzlaff and fucking cooked pasta sucks. He's off the card for a while. We didn't bet him this week, thank God, but I'm done with Alfredo for a bit because although he's in a Viking car too, so I don't understand. Retzlaff good, pasta bad. That's my takeaway from the O'Reilly race.
Indeed. Cousin Danny also shouting out the Discord that gave out Nick Sanchez as well. So Nick Sanchez coming in 3rd. Another impressive run for him.
Yeah, Sour D. Yeah, Sour D came in all over the Sanchez train. That one, I guess, I don't know. Like, I know he won here previously, so yes, you look at that. But I don't know. I didn't feel like I'd seen more than that out of him. And he really put on a masterclass as well. Looked good. So does O'Reilly come back here in the fall, Rod? I can't remember.
I think they do. No, actually, they don't.
Summer? Do they come here in the summer? Let's see.
I think,
I'll try
well, I
to
don't know.
super
This year, I don't know. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, everything changed. I don't believe they come back here, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think it's only just once.
Yeah, it looks like it's just the one. So, oh nope, EchoPark, July 11th. It threw me off because it's EchoPark, not Atlanta. So, yeah, in July, let's remember those things, right? Let's remember Sanchez and how amazing he looked. Let's remember how good Retzloff looked, and we can use the Retzloff one in particular. I think we can use at Talladega and Daytona as well as we get to those tracks because he's just been good as an overall super speedway guy. So, yeah, we got that rotten pasta, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate indeed. All right, I didn't love the way that the race ended up for Jesse Love. Yes, he did get still a top 10 finish, but he did not win the race like I hoped he would. And it wasn't for lack of trying, and it wasn't for lack of being good. It just,
I mean, he was up front. He led laps. He looked good. But I never felt like he was going to win. I don't know. It just, it just felt so much like Hill had it on lockdown until Chastain got him. I mean, really, it's Chastain deciding not to lift and running through him, which he shouldn't lift at that point. And Hill just didn't have enough space to be there. So it worked out for Creed, right place at the right time. But and again, it's one of those where I did not mind at all losing the bet on Austin Hill because we got to see Sheldon Creed win. So I guess that's part of the let's make it fun again, right? Is I didn't even want to root for the guy that I had the bet on, and we got to see Sheldon Creed in his puppy dog glasses get it done. So I'll take it.
Indeed. Love did lead the most laps in that race too, by the way. So there is something to hang your hat on. if you are a Love bettor and you were like, I got screwed. So, all right. That was a fun week or Saturday of racing. And I'm glad they got both of them in there. And we didn't even really talk about the fact that this first race, the truck race, was a time shortened race, but we'll have to
yeah, I mean, we sort of mentioned it with the Corey Heim deal. He was pretty upset about the time, but look, they were upfront about it. It was before the race. It wasn't, we've had before where NASCAR has come on and said, hey, which actually I had Eric Almirola at a big number a couple years ago in New Hampshire. Christopher Bell was absolutely going to run him down. NASCAR's like, it's going to be dark soon. We're going to 10 laps to go. And Bell ran out of time and Almirola won and cashed the bets for me. So I was happy about it, but doing it late in the race is kind of BS in my opinion. So I like this where they've taken the Indy approach, and it's like, because IndyCar does this with the 500, it's like, okay, if the race is not over at this time, this is it. And having the clock, I don't know. The clock might not be a bad idea to look at for all things going forward. I know some people might not like that, but it's something, if we're worried about races going too long and all this BS wrecking and overtimes and stuff, put a clock on her, and it's not a bad idea. F1's been doing it for years, and it works out well over there. Generally, they don't run into the clock, which is obviously would be the goal, right? But you have it there in case you need it. It's something.
It is definitely something to think about. So those of you who are up there making those decisions, start thinking about it. All right, let's come back. We'll talk about the Cup race, the exciting finish, the exciting race that was. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog's got you covered for pick 'em for almost every single sport. Get in on Underdog and win up to 5,000 times your entry. How about the Unrivaled Basketball Series from Mist BC? How about Brenna Stewart? Let's take her point projection. 20.5 is what she's projected at. Give me the higher then. Go Brianna. Yeah, let's take your higher than the Mist BC. They're taking on the Breeze BC over there in the Unrivaled Series. Go have some fun with that. Plus, if you're a brand new customer to Underdog, you get $5. If you play just $5, you get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACESGPN. Remember our friends over at Novig? We do. We're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. I'll tell you right now, the March Madness is right around the corner. They got St. Louis taking on Dayton tomorrow, by the way. So if you want to get in on one of these sides, we've got St. Louis at -118 at -5.5, or Dayton at +5.5 at -118 as well. So even sides for both of those over there on Novig. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig promo code SGPN. I don't think we're going to be able to get the audio working for the calls. So we may have to just we may just have to put this one on hold for now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
that's fine. We'll try and be back next week. Thanks for hanging with us, people. It's been it's been a journey, but we're going to keep getting it figured out, and as we get it dialed in, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Technically, it's still only our third try this year, so we're still kind of growing into it as well.
Right.
But stick with us in the Discord. Stick with us here on YouTube. You guys can check us out, and of course, on the pod, you don't even know anything's going on. So, all right, this was, by all rights and accounts, one of the most exciting races I think I've watched in a very long time. There was so much action. There was constant lead changes, like you said, Cody. You could put that car anywhere and drive through the field. Now, whether it's stuck or not, that was up to the rest of the field, but there was movement. There was driving from the front to the back. Blaney did it a couple of different times here and there. But ultimately, Tyler Reddick, with half of his car, managed to get the win after it looked like we wrote him off.
Yeah, I mean, you get caught up in a wreck like that, you lose that where at a track all aero means so much and all that, but yet he's still able to go out and get it done. I think that even more so speaks to the ability the drivers have to make a difference in this type of race at this type of track. It's not completely aero dependent. He wasn't screwed because he didn't have the right front fender. He was able to go make it work, and we saw him stick it up there and do a great job and get the job done. Congrats to him. Second win in a row, obviously. That's huge. And points, I got to say, Rod, I love the points conversation. I love that we're I love that we're talking about it already. I love that it's becoming a big thing already. Tyler Reddick has a 40-point lead after 2 races over second place. And, I mean, his cushion over the 16th place car is pretty solid. I mean, he has 125 points. SVG is in 16th with 45 points. So he's got 80-point cushion over him already. That allows him some mulligans as we go on, where there's some guys that mulligans are, especially guys that are going to be points racing. Guys like Ty Gibbs, 108 points behind Tyler Reddick already. Alex Bowman, 107. Christopher Bell, 100. They expect guys like Bell to get some wins, and Denny Hamlin, 93 points back, get some wins and be able to cut into that. And certainly you're not going to hit the panic button after 2 super speedway races on those types of guys, but makes a huge difference. So yeah, it's really exciting to see. And props to Tyler Reddick getting Michael Jordan. I love getting Michael Jordan on TV during these NASCAR races. It's great. He's doing the interviews in race and after the races. That's awesome to see. It helps NASCAR get more exposure out there, having Michael Jordan involved, and Michael Jordan in victory lane celebrating. We know how much he loves the sport, and he's at the races. He's not yes, if RFK wins, technically LeBron James gets a win because he's a part owner of Fenway, right? But he's not really there or involved, or probably doesn't care about NASCAR as far as we know. But Michael, he's invested. He loves it. You could see him watching the data and all the stuff up there on the box. It's great to see.
It is great to see, and it's great to see on the heels of everything that happened during the off season for Michael Jordan to say, "Oh, you wanted to exclude us from the sport? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just win the first 2 races of the year and the next one with half of a car." Like, yeah, this is definitely good for everybody involved. And like you said, there was some really great racing in it. Really, really carried over to the card, Cody, which was a profitable card and a fun card to cheer for.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Had Kyle Busch over Brad Keselowski at even money. Look, the Keselowski part of this kind of held up and came through because he finished in 17th. Not overly impressive. That's what I was looking for. Unfortunately, Busch kind of made a mistake, honestly, I think is what happened there, and got in the way of Gragson, and Gragson punted him, and that's how it goes. Ends up wrecked in the fence, which is unfortunate. So he cashed his tickets on Saturday. We'll take that and take the lumps on this loss. But then AJ Allmendinger over Noah Gragson, minus 115 on Caesars. This one was maybe not as easy as it should have been, I guess, because they were 12th and 14th. It was close, but Allmendinger got the best of Gragson, and that's all that matters. So we'll take our wins where we can.
That was one where Gragson was hanging around for a little while and AJ was disappeared. And then by the end of it, all of a sudden you look up and there's a 16 just making waves. I think he was one of the guys that took 4 tires at the end of it as well. With a lot of these guys didn't take 4 and managed to get himself up to 12th. So yeah, hats off to AJ, because I almost wrote this one off because I didn't see, and AJ was just in the back the whole day.
It was very much a quiet race, just like Daytona, but at least he got a decent finish out of this one. We didn't really see, I don't even remember seeing him on TV one time at all this race. Like, we got the one appearance in the 500 on lap 16, but outside of that, I didn't see him. I didn't see him this week, but take it for what it's worth. I'm going to be concerned about AJ and Ty Dillon going forward, being how heavy into Dodge this team is. Guys like AJ is going to start to scare me even this week at COTA, because I think there's not going to be maybe as much support as there once was for this program. So we'll see how that goes going forward, but cash the ticket here and we'll take it.
Indeed. Cash the ticket here as well. Two guys that were on the screen pretty much the entirety of the race, and that's Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric. Hey, listen, for a hot minute, I thought this was not going to hit because Austin Cindric was just right there with Logano. He was right there with Blaney. Those Fords, man, they were really dictating the, I'd say, latter half of the second third of this race, and they were really just up front the entire time. It was Cindric, it was Blaney, it was Logano, it was then the 2311 guys, and it was Bubba for a little while. It's just all these guys were jockeying for the top 5 spots, the top 3 spots in the lead. And Cindric was in that mix, right? And Cindric looked very good. He led 21 laps of this race. And I thought, well, this one's not going to go, because Chase Elliott, as good as he led 11 laps, but he was not necessarily hanging with these guys in a way that made it seem like he was going to beat Cindric. And then out of the blue, in the very last part of that race, I think Cindric either got caught up in somebody's melee.
I think he got caught up in the Denny Hamlin wreck.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yep, and got some damage there.
Yep. And so then Chase Elliott would manage to get by him and finish in 11th. Did Chase Elliott. Austin Cindric, unfortunately, came home with a pretty disappointing 26th place finish after really working his way through the field. And yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it goes.
His car did look elite. ES Gunnar checking in. That was a fast car. I mean, where he worked his way from the back to the front throughout the race, but all the things had been there, that he'd been good in the races. All the stats were there to show you he'd been good, he'd been fast, but he was never finishing the races. And once again, it's kind of how it happened. He wrong place, wrong time, gets caught up in it. So Zane Smith top 10 plus 320 Rod. Zane Smith cashes the top 10 at 7-1. And just to look ahead, fast forward, had him at top 4 25-1. 7th place, good enough to get it done. So yeah, that cashed. That's why we take those types of bets, right? We told you guys. We told you on the show last week. You're going to hear everywhere. Penske. Was Penske good in this race? Yes. Did they look amazing? Yes. Were they fast? Yes. But it doesn't always work out in the end. And we saw that. I mean, that really was the case. Like Blaney 10th, Logano 18th. And then we just talked about Cindric getting caught up in that wreck. Logano, I think, got damaged in one of the wrecks too. Blaney was kind of all over the place all day. They had fast cars. They look good, but it's not a guarantee on the drafting tracks. You're going to get to the end. That was exactly the case. Zane Smith cashes the top 10 for us and cashes the top 4. So you'd love to see that. And then I had the Riley Herbst top 10 as well. He was looking decent kind of throughout the race, hanging around. Got caught up in that wreck with him and Austin Dillon. So unfortunately didn't hit that one, but Zane Smith really, really made this card a great one.
Indeed. Yeah. Riley Smith had speed at qualifying too, no less. He qualified in 14th place, or I'm sorry, 8th place rather. So a good day for him all around, and his 2311 counterparts. If he'd just been able to stay out of it, he might've been okay. Speaking of the Big Ten, Fitted
just
Jones
on the Zane thing real quick. Yeah. Fitted Jones says he's big on him this year, and he's 5th place coming out of here in the points, 54 points behind Reddick, but 5th place is a good start. Now, again, let's not overreact. Oh, my God, he's the 5th best driver or anything like that, because we know that's not the case. But getting a big cushion like this to start early, now you can just put the pieces together and points race smartly. This is a good start for them. It's much better to have this cushion to build on. And, okay, now we can race to be in the top 16 as we go through the season. A team like that's going to find themselves like it's not a Denny Hamlin, a Kyle Larson. We're not worried about those guys being in the chase, right? They're going to find their way there, barring a just horrendous season. But a guy like Zane Smith, if you start up here rather than starting in the 2-race hole that you have to dig out of, and you have this cushion, it's huge for a guy like that. And like Jordan Bianchi was talking about this on the teardown, Zane Smith was a top-tier prospect a couple of years ago coming out of the Truck Series. Maybe not to the level of a Corey Heim, but he was very dominant in that series. And it was like, oh, big thing. Where's he going to go? Trackhouse signs him. They're going to put him on loan to Spire. And then SVG shows up. Connor Zillett shows up. Trackhouse is like, we don't really have a seat anymore. Sorry, buddy, you're gone. Then he starts to figure it out. And then he just gets shifted over here. But we've seen some stuff with Zane. He's going to be a guy that's probably going to be on the card this week and a lot of races going forward, Rod.
Hey, listen, we talked about him a lot in the Truck Series and how talented he was, and that we were happy that he was able to get the chance to move up to the Cup Series. So I'm just glad to see this is starting to blossom for young Zane Smith. Speaking of good on good cushions, how about SVG, baby? Top 10, 5-1. Told you we were impressed with his oval prowess. The man probably went in, studied a lot. He had Chastain around him to sort of help, but he didn't need it, to be honest with you. He was up there on his own, and he was another one of those guys that was here and then back and then fought his way. He got spun out by Kyle Larson and took that top 10 was toast after that. But no, he comes back and he drives his way through the field. He was like 16th on one of the last restarts and found his way back up into the top 10. And not just top 10, Cody. He was knocking on the door of a top 5. Here's the thing about SVG, and I think Cousin Danny was joking in the Discord. Maybe it was Cousin Danny. SVG outright on the championship is 125-1 right now. I think he dabbled a little bit on it. There it is, Cousin Danny. And of course, TK, our resident SVG folks as well. Hey, we laugh, we joke. We never laughed and we never joked about SVG. We knew that once he caught on, then the rest of the field was in trouble. And we may not overreacted to super speedway races, but this was one of his weaknesses last year that he shored up. If he gets to be this good on Kansas, if he gets to be this good on Las Vegas, ooh, dog, we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, I love how everybody's surprised, and we've been telling you that this is going to be the case. I mean, it's not that shocking. He's going to kick everybody's ass 3 ways to Sunday this week. I'll tell you that right now. Just bet it as soon as it comes out because that's going to be the best number you're going to get. I'm looking forward to it. You know, this has been a conversation in the Discord. Betting SVG at 125-1 to win the championship. Frank says convince him that it's not crazy. You know, I would say that it's not crazy. Is he going to win it? It's a long shot for a reason. It's unlikely with Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell and all these guys. Yes, but in a year where we just saw Indiana win the football championship, we saw the long shot Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl, the long shot New England Patriots get to the Super Bowl, the long shot Miami Hurricanes get to the championship game. Like, it's been a lot of long shot stuff happening. And yes, while it is a bit crazy, we've seen him in 2 races in a row look good on super speedways. We know what he's going to do in these 4 road course, street course races, right? Then we saw at the end of last year putting together some solid top 10, some good finishes. It's not crazy to think that by the time we get to the chase, he's turned himself into a top 10 driver every week. The chips fall the right way. He gets enough of his point standing things. I mean, it's not going to be easy by any means, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. But at 125-1, I've bet on much worse things in my life, Rod. I don't think it is a bad idea to grab a little bit just in case.
You bet on Corey Day to finish top 5 in the O'Reilly race at 8-1. And, I'm just saying that those things cash, man, whether you think they are or not. They cash.
It's dumb shit like that can happen.
and SVG winning's not even dumb shit. It's actually
there's actually like, yeah, he's going to need some help probably, right? But it's not crazy that as we saw the progression last year. Now you get a full another 26 races leading up to the chase to get into the chase. And then for him to just catch things right? Maybe he wins at Talladega, which is in the playoffs. He goes out and has a second place run in the Southern 500 because of the way things fall. And then all of a sudden, yeah, then Kyle Larson has a dumb fucking mistake like he did this past week once again. That happens a lot, right? And then somebody else has this problem. It's not crazy.
It's not crazy at all. And if he does, we get ourselves championship rings because we called it. All right, let's continue down the card, Cody. We got some Toyotas to get to.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy. Top Toyota, obviously, goes to Tyler Reddick winning the race. Chase Briscoe right there behind him. Bubba Wallace looked good in this one. I Had Nemechek at 22-1, Herbst at 28-1. Neither of these guys are really going to hit this throughout the day. Unfortunately, didn't get Nemechek as much as we saw him at Daytona. Didn't translate as much to Atlanta, so that was unfortunate. Herbst got caught up in that wreck. You bet these long shots. We bet 4 long shots for top manufacturers here, and we hit one of them at 25-1. You could do the math. That worked out pretty good in our favor, so we'll take it. That's what you're looking for. On it, and we'll just cover it too. I'd go in top 4 at 22-1. Obviously, that doesn't cash because the Zane Smith thing does. Gilly, I think he got caught up. Yeah, he was 13 laps down. He got caught up on one of the wrecks. I don't know that he was that impressive before, but you take the long shots because they might cash, and one of them did. So that's the lesson there.
Indeed. Speaking of somebody that had more ups and downs in the stock market over the last couple of months, Ryan Blaney, I had him as a top 5, started from the back, moved to the front, went to the back, went back to the front, went to the middle, then went to the front again, then went back to the middle, went to the back, and then went back up to the I just lost track. I was ping-ponging so hard. I felt like a cat with a freaking ball. I was just batting it around and watching it go back and forth and back and forth. But in the end, Ryan Blaney did not get into the top 5, and he did not get to the top 4. In fact, Ryan Blaney ended up in 10th place, really because of the last couple of laps where Ryan Blaney was there. And then because of all the jostling between Wallace and all of the Chevys that were involved, Blaney just sort of got shuffled out of the mix and didn't get back up to the front again. But I'm convinced Ryan Blaney should have been a top 5 car at the end of the day, because those Fords, those blue ovals toward the back half of that race, they were dictating the pace. And unfortunately, that just wasn't good enough to maintain. And Ryan Blaney got jostled out of it. Speaking of Fords, Cody, I'll just jump over to my next one real quick. I did have Zane Smith to win Group F. This was the easiest group to ever win in your entire life for Zane Smith. It was Ty Gibbs, it was Jones, and it was Gilliland. Zane Smith at plus 350 took this home and didn't even look back.
Yeah, this was pretty easy. I mean, Zane Smith really cleaned up with a great day for us. So props to him. He's a guy, look, I hope we keep getting opportunities on him, because he's a guy who made us a ton of money last year. And I know it's become a joke in the Discord. Oh, Cody's going to have Zane on the card this week, but I'm going to keep putting him on because he keeps cashing bets. So it's been working out pretty well. And he's a guy that we love. Speaking of guys we love, Rod, the GOAT, our Lord and Savior, Carson Hocevar. Once again, what more could you possibly want out of a driver? We're sitting there under red flag. Go over there, tell him we're going to shake and bake. What do you mean by shake and bake? I don't even know what I mean. I just said it because it's cool. Come on, Rod. How do you not love this man? The Discord, you missed it. I know you had dad stuff going on and weren't live in the Discord during the race, but it was essentially the Carson Hocevar fan club going on in there, and Rowdy. But
thank you, Rowdy.
Don't worry, he was on your side of the argument. But it was beautiful. Everybody's rooting for him. Goes out and has another shot to win. We are so fucking close. I love it. We played the car lift once again, and it cashed this week. Top 10 at plus 145, top 5 at plus 380. Cashes both of those. Just right behind Chastain, or he'd have got top Chevy at 13-1. Shout out to TK for hitting Ross as the top Chevy, and 30-1 to win. I mean, he was down to, what did I see him down to, like 11-1 on race day or something? I mean, everybody was betting him. It was crazy. And that was what scared me, but he showed up again. And not only did he show up, he has a flat tire early in the race. You're like, fuck, what's going on? The window blows out of the back of the car. You're like, oh my God, what else could go wrong? Doesn't he stays calm. He's up there racing for his lap back, old school style at the front of the field. Like, it was beautiful. I love everything about this kid. We're probably not going to bet on him at COTA, but we're going to bet on him a lot this season, Rod. Looking forward to it. And yeah, Cash is the look when you bet these ladders or the car lifts. If you hit the first rung, hopefully you're structuring your bets to where that's making it a positive day. Anyways, you hit a second one, and that's really, you're going above and beyond there. So makes up for losing out on him a little bit. Last week at Daytona when things unfortunately didn't happen. But another great day by the greatest NASCAR driver of all time, Carson Hocevar.
This cracks me up right here, because that's exactly what I was going to say. TK saying Rod is at least still right about Ty Gibbs. My comment right away when you said that, Cody. No, I was going to say, as soon
we
as
don't know yet, TK. Don't overreact to super speedways unless it's about Carson Hocevar.
Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, I was going to, and now I'm not going to say it because I'm going to say the exact opposite. I was going to say, at least I will give Carson Hocevar credit for being better than Ty Gibbs. I will 1000% give him credit for being better than Ty Gibbs, because here's the thing about Carson Hocevar, right? As much as I downplay him, as much as I hate him, right? But I don't. This is all for show for the most part, because Cody hypes him up so much. I got to come back down to earth. I got to be the guy to come back down to earth. But I will say this. I will say that there are a lot that he's got to mature a lot more still. Once he matures, I think you are going to get that.
Do we want him to mature? Like, I guess on the racetrack a little bit, yes.
Yes.
But off the track, I hope he doesn't mature at all, because it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well,
say it with me in slow roll, Rod. Are you ready? Hocevar, Hocevar, Hocevar.
No. All right. I'm going to move on because we've already spent way too much time on him not winning this race.
No such.
There is plenty of.
He won us multiple bets, Rod. We spent a great amount of time on him.
Like I said, he's better than Ty Gibbs. Anybody who mentions Ty Gibbs from now until the end of time should just stop. All right. I had a winning car number even at -125. That did not hit. And of course, Ryan Blaney was that even car that I was banking on at 10-1. That didn't hit, unfortunately.
Yeah. A lot of odds up front again. I think that's something to keep in mind. Top 6 were all odd cars. So maybe we need to remember that at Talladega next, because that seemed to be the case last week as well. Outrights, obviously had the Hocevar thing. That looked good. Chase Elliott, 13-1. He looked good throughout the day. Kyle Busch. Ricky Stenhouse was fast, Rod, at 40-1. Until he wasn't. He got wadded up. I think he was in that Riley Herbst wreck, unfortunately. Daniel Suarez had a shot late, 40-1. Very quiet all day, and then all of a sudden he's in the picture. Played him in the one-and-done pools. He ends up with a good finish where he ended up in 5th place. So a great run by Daniel Suarez. I had the top 5 in the card earlier in the week. I took it out. Should have left it in there, but that's okay. Had a shot. You love that. Zane at 70-1. Cashed all the other bets for us.
Did not cash that one, unfortunately. And yeah, Cody got booed off because Corporate Gambling didn't want him to talk about Zane Smith anymore.
Too much Zane Smith talk. John Hunter, not really a factor. Allmendinger, not really a factor. So that's how it goes.
It is how it goes. That shotgun unit ended up splattering too far out in the wing. Okay. So I told you at the beginning of the show that I was going to tell you exactly how this all shook out. Now, Daytona, I didn't really, because Daytona is Daytona. We always throw out everything and just let you stick the buffet. We still do that here, but Atlanta, there was a lot of good stuff, and there wasn't nearly as many to keep track of. So I had my little whiteboard, and I came up with this. If you would have bet $10 on every single bet that we would have laid out, you would have been up $309.90 if you bet every bet from the Xfinity, from O'Reilly to trucks.
Now you just lost some of the money because it's going in the swear jar.
I got to put 10 cents in the swear jar. But Cody netted you $181.20 on his card if you would have bet $10 on everyone. Like, that's top Toyota on both of them, top Ford on both of them, even all of his outrights. If you would have split the unit on all of the outrights evenly to make it however you would have made it, 13 units, whatever, I guess $10. That $181.20, I would have brought you back $128.70 with all of my bets on the day.
156 straight months of tracked, non-crazy profit, making you money. Oh, wait, no, just kidding. That's inside joke. But
1 week of tracked and profitable betting.
That was a good week. I like it. It feels good. SVG is going to make us a lot of money next week, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm telling you, if you come home with $309 more in your pocket after a super speedway race, you're pretty good. It's a pretty good day.
I like it.
Let's do that again in COTA, shall we? This one's a little less chaotic. This one has a little more.
This is going to be such a fun week, Rod. We have COTA for the Cup Series and the O'Reilly Series. SVG and Zilich are going to be in O'Reilly. That's going to be exciting. They'll obviously both be in Cup too because they're full-time Cup guys. Then the Truck Series is at St. Pete with the IndyCar Series. Holy shit, SVG is -110 on BetMGM.
Go get
Friends,
that.
here is an early look for you at tomorrow's show. Bet a lot of money on SVG to win the Cup race this week. That is the best piece of advice I could possibly give you. But we will be back tomorrow, Rod, to talk about it. The Cup Series race at COTA. Then we'll be back Wednesday, of course. So O'Reilly will be at COTA with the Cup Series. Trucks will be at St. Pete with IndyCar, which is a street course. That's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll talk about that as well. And then Thursday, we're going to do DFS like normal for NASCAR, but we're also going to slip in a little segment with some IndyCar bets for St. Pete. Just trying to find a way to keep, we like talking IndyCar, and if you want to kind of get caught up on things, we did some off-season episodes. I shared that over on the X and Facebook. You can go find those or go back through the feeds on YouTube. There is playlists, by the way. So you can just click on the IndyCar playlist. You can find that. We talk championship odds, win totals, all that stuff, kind of driver changes and stuff, just to reset all that up. So that's a lot of fun. And then a couple $10 fantasy leagues for Indy and F1. Hit me up. Find that stuff on the X at NASCAR Gambling at @NASCAR_Zeeb, where you can find all of my stuff, of course. Going to be a really fun week of left and rights for all 4 series. I'm really looking forward to it.
Indeed. Yeah, it is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the trucks at St. Pete with IndyCar as well. I'm excited to see IndyCar back.
Yeah, that's going to be, and we got like Dario Franchitti and James Hinchcliffe are both coming to race trucks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And in IndyCar, if you've not gotten into it, if you're a NASCAR person, it's fun too, especially when we get to bet on it.
Hell yeah. This season is appropriately named Hell yeah. All right. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link in the bio. I say that all the time. There is no link in the bio anymore. Just follow me for everything that's on there. You'll see what I'm up to. And, of course, we'll see you tomorrow with the COTA picks for the week. All right. See you guys later. Sorry about the Discord. We'll get that figured out next time around. But, yeah, until then, join us on our never-ending quest to make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride. Darkness,